será, norayeru. Are, ore, are, are, nore, are. Iarare oesha sune kiriasata. Neri handa ke oeshe asa. Ande iare ashoye. De koyashane sita nakera satokea. It just came to me that as I heal and as we heal, as we heal as a collective, oftentimes our personal journeys reflects the collective journey. So, this may or may not resonate with you, and of course, it doesn't mean that your experience isn't valid if it's different from mine. It's just different, because that's how it is. We don't all have the same journeys, and that's perfect. But what was coming to me is I've noticed on a personal level, as I am healing, my voice is opening up, and many, many years ago, when I was going through a traumatic time, I didn't know what was going on, but my voice shut down. And I was a singer, and suddenly my vocal range wasn't what it had been, and it was so odd because up until it shut down, it had been so easy for me. It was like an endless range. And I didn't even know that was unique. I didn't know it was special. I didn't know it could be, it was so easy, I didn't know it could be lost. And then it was. And then for a long time, I fought to get it back, and I couldn't get it back, and it was really, there are worse things in life that certainly that happen to people, but from my perspective at that time, it was incredibly difficult. Anyway, I learned to work around it, and I still had a singing career, but it had never opened up again to what it had been. And so what was just coming to me was, as my voice is opening up, it's opening up in new ways. It's opening up on the higher range end, but it's also opening up on the lower range end. Nasutenia. And so this parallels that as I heal personally, as I heal internally, what I've been experiencing is, as the light is flooding into our world, not only is the deeply buried stuff within me coming up to be felt, it's being revealed so that I can be with it in a way that I just don't think I had been ready for prior to this time. And now, through experience and being taught by spirit, that sounds crazy, but if you're watching this, then you probably understand. You probably get it. If you're watching this at all. And if that doesn't make sense, that's okay too. Like, it's cool, and I'm glad you're here. But anyway, I can look back and see how, I've just been taught through experiences that I stumbled into, been taught about allowing the unacceptable parts of me to come up and be felt. And that does not mean, although sometimes we all have done this, it doesn't mean taking it out on somebody else, and it doesn't mean putting that on others. It means, for me, it means being with those parts of me that have been unacceptable. And as I do that, I find that the depths go very deep. But on the other end is that as I go into those deep depths, I go into the higher realms and the light, and this opening to higher dimensions more. And so for me, I've really learned in an experiential way that healing, which healing is a beautiful word, and healing is beautiful. But what healing actually entails is feeling pain for me. I don't know if this is everybody's experience. It's just what I've experienced for myself, and I guess I'm sharing it today because I try to just let come through whatever wants to come through. And so there's a lot of talk about healing, and everybody wants to heal, and healing is wonderful. And what I don't see or hear talked about a ton or much is the depth of going into the pain, allowing the pain, allowing pain that for me, and I'm not trying to scare anyone off from healing, but I want this to be a reassurance because I've experienced it recently, going into the pain that feels like a death, that has been for me like a death, like a spiritual, metaphorical death. And I just surrender to it because I just feel that I'm at a point where that's what is meant for me to do. So it's hard, it's very hard, but I allow it. And what has been shown to me that as I allow that, and when I'm in it, it doesn't feel like it will end. It doesn't feel like I'll come out of it. And that's part of the sort of, it takes a certain degree for me of just faith to allow that to rise. And I do come out of it. Sometimes I'll go to bed and still feel broken. I'll still feel like I'm dying or I've died. And the next morning, I wouldn't say like, I don't know that we ever, are 100% healed in this lifetime. From my understanding is that as long as we're human, we're going to be healing. But I feel like just some of the deepest work, the deepest trauma work has been happening for me recently, and I've come out of it. I'll wake up the next day and feel better, and then I'll just notice that things that were really hard for me before, like things that felt almost impossible, like I would try to intellectually be like maybe setting healthy boundaries or speaking up for myself or something like that. I would try before, be like, okay, I have to set boundaries, I have to practice self-care, I have to advocate for myself, and then it would be like too much, it would be too difficult, and I didn't know why. But as I heal, as I go into the depths of darkness and pain and feel that and allow that, that is what's healing me. And it sucks. It sucks that is what healing is. I will never be the person who pretends that it doesn't suck. It's so awful. So, if you know what I'm talking about, just, I'm with you, and it sucks, and you're doing great. And, you know, I practice giving myself that support. Like, yes, this sucks, you're doing great. Like, it's not easy. This is why not everybody heals. And we're all on, you know, our unique, perfect journeys. And, you know, I'm constantly reminded by Spirit when I start feeling impatient or pressured about, you know, getting all this healing done and getting to where I want to be, is that we are eternal, so we're going to get there. And I know I don't want to wait for eternity either, so like, I get it. I'm human. So I'm with you on all of the human things that are so frustrating. I'm that too. You know, we're all full of contradictions and paradoxes, and I think part of our expanding is holding all of this, because all of it's valid. And that's really confusing from the human point of view alone, but as we expand into higher dimensions, and it's strange how expanding into these lower dimensions allows us to expand into the higher dimensions. And I don't understand it fully, but I just get these glimpses. And so I'm hoping that me sharing these glimpses that I receive might help someone who watches this. I'm just laughing because I've already been talking for 18 minutes. So, yeah, I don't have my concept of time is like decreasing and decreasing and decreasing as I expand. And it's just funny to me because it's not practical and it's not good for humaning. And it is what it is, you know, it is what it is, but I never know if a video is going to be like 30 seconds or 30 minutes, So to wrap this up, as I heal internally, and I see on the collective level, I think, at least, it seems as if the deepest, darkest, buried parts of humanity are rising to be seen. I mean, I didn't know, and I think a lot of us are surprised. And so my hope is that that is coming up to be healed. Just as my own personal inner darkness and trauma and unacceptable parts are coming up so that I can see them and be with them, and they, as I am with them, instead, because I've had a lot of years, all of them, until recently, where I would have this little voice of whatever negative thing. Fear, jealousy. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, there's still work to be done. Shadow work. And shadow work. And I think that, at least for me, shadow work sounds innocuous. So, I mean, not completely, right? Not as innocuous as healing. But it doesn't sound like, oh my fucking God, make it stop. But that's how it can feel. Not always. I'm so inspiring. Okay. But no, I'm here to say, like, for me, and you know, you're on your perfect journey, so take what resonates, leave the rest, always, always, always. This is just my personal experience and interpretation of my experience. It's just as I allow all of me, as I stop denying parts of me, and as I can really accept them and allow them to tell me about themselves, where they come from. I can understand them, I can be with them, I can integrate them. And this is where I'm learning and through real experience, which is all very personal, and yeah, it's just very personal. I don't do it with other people. I mean, sometimes other people are a catalyst for the shadow work, but the shadow work is done for me alone. Okay, I have to wrap this up. Sorry. If you have watched this far, you are a fucking boss, and I appreciate you. I do. I do, because you know, I have a hard time staying on track. Because, you know, as you expand, as you heal and expand and open up, it's like there's so much information coming in, and it really is hard to put it into a linear thought, into a linear thought line that can be articulated. And yeah, I have to practice getting better at that. All right, anyway. My vocal range is opening up as I heal. And for me, this is that time when my voice was shut down, I started noticing that I was like locked up physically. And so as I heal these locked up, the locking up of the muscles and fascia, and I guess self protection and self, not letting the pain arise to be felt. Because we're not really taught that either. And as I learn to allow it and feel it, it is dissolved, it is transmuted, and I can relax. I don't have to barrier myself against feeling something. And so as my vocal range opens up, my consciousness opens up. And as we open, we become who we really are. And it's strange for me, and it's strange for the people in our lives who have known us. And so it's important to have compassion for yourself as you adjust. It can feel really awkward, like getting a hang of this new reality. But I also just have this understanding that it's okay that it feels unfamiliar. It feels uncomfortable for now, but that's temporary. Happy Lunar New Year, happy year of the fire horse. It's going to be challenging, but it's going to be so beautiful. And thank you for being here with me. I just feel so grateful. I feel so grateful for you. All of you watching, any of you watching, I'm so grateful for watching any of my videos and for being a part of my life. Okay. I have to go. I love you.